Welcome to Podcastify, your personal generative AI podcast. Today we're diving into the roller coaster that was the stock market on June 18th, 2025. A day of big winners and, well, some spectacular losers.
Buckle up, listeners. It was a wild ride. Let's start with the tech sector, which saw some serious shakeups, shall we?
Absolutely. Nvidia, the darling of the AI boom, took a major hit. A 7% drop pre-market. Ouch.
7%. That's substantial. What happened?
China's tightening export restrictions on those high-performance AI chips that Nvidia thrives on. Direct hit to their data center revenue.
Which, if I recall correctly, accounts for a hefty chunk of their overall sales, right?
Almost 40%. Analysts at Morgan Stanley reacted swiftly, slashing their price target considerably.
From $950 to $820 if memory serves. Talk about regulatory overhang.
It's a real blow. But interestingly, Nvidia's competitors, like AMD and Intel, they're actually up. Traders are betting they'll benefit from Nvidia's stumble.
Picking up the slack, so to speak. A classic case of one company's misfortune being another's opportunity. Fascinating how these things play out.
So, picking up the pieces here, a 20% increase in energy density for Tesla's 4680 battery cells, that's, well, huge if it pans out.
Game changer, potentially. Especially for that hulking Cybertruck. Profitability has been a, shall we say, challenge there.
Yeah, exactly. And the short sellers are feeling the heat. $2 billion gone just like that. Poof.
Talk about a short squeeze. Ouch. Reminds me of, well, never mind. But I mean, a 5% surge for Tesla on battery news alone?
That's the Musk effect, right? He tweets, the market moves. It's remarkable, actually. Almost unsettling.
Definitely unsettling. I always wonder about the long-term sustainability of that kind of influence. But hey, it works for now, I guess.
For now, yeah, but you know what they say, easy come.
Easy go, exactly. Especially in the volatile world of, tech stocks.
Speaking of volatile, we were about to dive into biotech, weren't we? And that's where the real fireworks are, apparently.
The real drama indeed. Buckle up, listeners. This is where things get interesting.
Moderna, wow, 12%, that's a rout.
Brutal. All on that FDA delay for their flu vaccine. Inconsistent trial data, huh?
Yeah, inconsistent. Which in biotech can mean a whole lot of things. And, $5 billion, poof, just gone.
$5 billion. Their investors must be furious. And Pfizer, meanwhile, up 4%.
Talk about adding insult to injury, right? Suddenly, those old school flu shots are looking pretty good again.
I guess so. Funny how things change. Speaking of changes, oil's at $90 a barrel.
$90. Those drone strikes in Russia are really shaking things up.
Refinery operations disrupted. Supply crunch. Classic recipe for a price spike.
Exxon and Chevron are understandably pleased, I suppose. Up 3% respectively.
Making a killing. But not everyone's celebrating, are they? Delta down 5%?
Ouch. Fuel costs are their Achilles heel. This could really hurt their bottom line. It's all connected, isn't it? Like a delicate...
A delicate ecosystem. Exactly. One piece moves and everything else, well, you see what happens.
Ecosystem, right? Like a delicate spider web almost. One little tug and
the whole thing trembles. Yeah, so Bitcoin, 8% in an hour, that's violent.
Brutal. The SEC poking around Tether's reserves again, that never ends well.
Never. It's like, poking a hornet's nest with a really long stick. Not a good idea.
And Coinbase, MicroStrategy, collateral damage. 4 billion gone. Just like that. Poof.
Crypto, huh? Always an adventure. Speaking of adventures, the Fed, no rate cuts. Powell really threw a wrench in the works.
300 points off the Dow, that's substantial.
Substantial is an understatement. And the 10-year Treasury yield at 4.5%? Ouch. Tech stocks are getting hammered.
Meta, Alphabet, Amazon, all down. It's a bloodbath.
But, not all tech is suffering, is it? There are always exceptions.
Apple hitting a new all-time high. 4%? $100 billion. Poof. Just like that. Added to their market cap just because of a deal with OpenAI.
ChatGPT on iOS 19. It's, big news. Integrating AI directly into the operating system, it's a game changer, potentially. Though I do wonder about the privacy implications.
Privacy. Yeah, that's always the elephant in the room with these tech giants. But, hey, $100 billion talks, right?
It certainly does. Speaking of big numbers, Walmart down 3%? Ouch. Stubborn inflation in groceries, they say.
Stubborn inflation. Yeah, that's one way to put it. People got to eat, but they're definitely feeling the pinch, cutting back on those non-essentials.
Makes sense. And Target, meanwhile, up 1% on buyout rumors? Interesting.
Private equity swooping in. It's like, vultures circling, waiting for the weak to falter. Not that Target is weak, per se, but
But they're vulnerable. Exactly. Retail's a tough game these days. And speaking of tough games, Boeing, down another 5%, another 737 MAX issue, a faulty rudder system this time. This is getting ridiculous.
ridiculous is an understatement. 30% down year to date, that's catastrophic. They're hemorrhaging money.
And Airbus, of course, is loving it, up 2%, picking up the pieces, so to speak. One company's misfortune.
Is another's opportunity. Exactly. It's the circle of life, I guess. In the corporate world, at least.
The circle of life, or maybe the circle of capitalism, survival of the fittest, and all that.
So, Boeing, down another 5%, another 737 MAX issue, a faulty rudder system this time. This is getting ridiculous.
Ridiculous is an understatement. 30% down year to date, that's catastrophic. They're hemorrhaging money, and Airbus, of course, is loving it.
Up 2%, picking up the pieces, so to speak. One company's misfortune.
Is another's opportunity. Precisely. It's the circle of life, I guess. In the corporate world, at least.
The circle of life, or maybe the circle of capitalism. Survival of the fittest, and all that. So, wrapping up this wild ride through the markets. What a day, huh?
A day for the history books, that's for sure. From Nvidia's nosedive to Apple's ascent, from Moderna's meltdown to, well, you get the picture.
It's a real reminder of how quickly things can change, right? 1 minute you're on top of the world, the next,
You're scrambling to pick up the pieces. Exactly. Volatility is the name of the game, especially in today's market.
volatility. Yeah, and the interconnectedness of it all. One seemingly isolated event can trigger a cascade of consequences.
Like those drone strikes in Russia sending oil prices soaring, which then hammers Delta Airlines. It's all connected. A delicate ecosystem, as you said earlier.
A delicate ecosystem, or maybe a spider web. One little tug and the whole thing trembles, which I suppose is why they call it the web.
The World Wide Web. The web of finance, the web of, well, everything, really. It's all intertwined.
It is, and it's fascinating to watch, albeit a little terrifying at times. But hey, that's the market for you, always keeping us on our toes.
Always. And that, dear listeners, is why you tune in to Podcastify, to make sense of the madness, to understand the interconnectedness of it all.
To navigate the spider web, to ride the roller coaster, to, stay ahead of the curve. So thank you for joining us on this wild ride through the markets. It's been enlightening. And until next time, this is Podcastify, signing off. Goodbye, everyone.
And remember, folks, stay informed, stay vigilant, and buckle up. The ride's not over yet.